This is the Magnus Fidget Slider, made in New Zealand by a gentleman by the name of Magnus. It's made out of titanium. It has a titanium body with zirconium plates on the inside. You cannot see the plates on mine because I've put a low friction tape over the plates to help it slide better. This is incredibly well designed, precision cut from a machine made in Japan. The magnets are incredibly strong. There's a row of 3 magnets here and 3 magnets here, and that's gives you 2 clicks this way, and you can slide it sideways. The feel is really incredible. It has a good weight to it. Feels very comfortable in the hand. There's no spots on it where it can bite into your hand. It's not overdone. The edges aren't over beveled. It's curved like this. And then there's another bevel that comes across here to fit the ergonomics of your hand. This bevel here feels really good. The zirconium plates are raised just slightly, and you can see that even under the tape. So when you slide this, only the parts that touch are these plates. The corner here is thoughtfully beveled so that when you slide it to the top, your thumb fits right into that little spot and you can just roll it. It can be loud, it can be quiet. When you slide it up and you just push it down with your thumb, it will be loud. If you slide it up and put a little bit of down pressure between the plates and squeeze it, it's very quiet. So you can slide it over, up, and around, and over for a really quiet fidget. So if you're sitting somewhere and you don't want to make a lot of noise, you're in a meeting, you want to be loud, you can do that. I don't know, this just is such an incredible feel. The texture is little pyramid cuts. There's other videos that you can see what it sounds like with and without tape. This is quiet compared to what it sounds like without tape because the plates are metal. When you slide it to the side, it can be loud, but if you push it just on one edge, it will be very quiet. And you could even do it like this. If you grab the top here and you sort of wiggle it just a little bit, you can get it to be a little quieter. I'll talk about some of the other designs. They have a ridge here. This is sort of analogous to what it is to use this. Maybe that's how the idea was born. I wanted to talk about how I added the tape, how this fidget can be a pinching hazard depending on how you add the tape. People are just adding tapes just to the plate, and that makes sense because the zirconium plate that is on the inside here is the only thing that touches. So why would you tape the whole thing? Why would you go all the way to the edge? And I think I figured out why. When you slide it up to the second position and you don't have tape all the way to the edge, it creates a ridge here. And what happens is because this is the surface has become even lower, what happens is it rocks like this. It comes away, the magnets pull away from each other just slightly like this. Depending on how your thumb is placed, it can come up just a little bit like this. It can pinch your skin just a little bit. It can come over top because your hand sometimes will come over the top of the plate. That is why if you're going to tape these, I recommend to tape the entire bottom of these pieces. And I found once I did that, it didn't pinch anymore. The kind of tape I used is called PTFE. This is what it looks like. This is very thin tape. This is one of the PTFE tapes, and PTFE stands for polytetrafluoroethylene, which is a very low coefficient of friction. Basically, it's very slippery. There are other tapes called UHMW. It stands for ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, and it's also very slippery, but it's also very stiff. And I wouldn't recommend this particular tape because it's like the plastic is so firm that it won't conform to the this tape is flexible. You can see how it's conformed. This tape is so thick it would not conform, so I won't recommend certain types of UHMW that are really thick. The other kind of tapes that I've used on this are the painter's tape. This is a tape I've used, which is a frog tape. You can also use this tape, which is a Scotch tape. It's a Scotch painter's tape. And the painter's tape, all these painter's tape have in common is that they have a surface that's sort of waxy, and it facilitates the plates sliding across each other. This is the green frog tape, and I'll put this on just to show you what it's like and what it sounds like with this. So this adds a good deal of thickness. I think it adds 0.47 thickness. And this is 3 layers of the frog tape. So you still have really strong magnets, even with all these layers of tape. So as far as the design goes, the only thing that I wonder about sometimes is if it was a little bit thicker. If this plate is thicker this way, your flesh stays away from these 2 plates sliding across each other. The other design is similar to this. It has it's called the crab. It doesn't have any texture on it. It uses the design itself to facilitate sliding action. The other tape that I used is this stuff here, PTFE glass cloth tape, and it's also very slippery. It's a little bit thicker, and that's the tape that I prefer to use. Thanks for watching my review, and thanks to Magnus for making such an awesome slider. See ya.